So, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Conservative Poet. Me, Amania here, driving and multitasking. I am being very safe. Want y'all to know I'm very, very safe. Got my little microphone on, hand on the wheel, but I have to hold this thing because the magnetic won't stick to nothing. So anyway, we're trying. I ordered me a new cushion because I'm going to be recording more and more while I'm on the road for the natural lighting one. And being that I can't really edit things, I might as well just rip it. We're going to rip it. So yeah. So today I want to talk about, I watched the Candace Owens episode that dropped yesterday. I only watched partial of it, and I wanted to discuss something that is, I watched partial of it last night, and as I was driving now, I put it on so I could, finish the episode. And I said, let me just go back because there might have been some things that I didn't really take in. Let me just listen to the whole thing because I have the time while I'm driving. So I put it on, and this is episode December 2nd. And this is where she's talking about the DuPonts in Delaware. These people, these famous family who is wealthy, who is pretty much run the show down there in those neck of the woods. They run the show down there. And so, but they not only run the show, but there's been like, bad things happening to children kinds of things, if you know what I'm saying. If we're on the same page here. Wicked things happening to little babies by the hands of their own daddies, by the hands of their own father. So she talks about this DuPont guy who did some really, really disgusting things to their 3-year-old daughter. Imagine a father, a grown man. What kind of pleasure do you get from inserting your very grown, let's call it, what's the word for that old one-eyed snake? We'll call it that. We'll call it that. How do you position yourself to insert your very big, enlarged, developed, one-eyed snake into a little 3-year-old? What should we call the child? The place where the one-eyed snake would enter. What do we call that? Because I want to be very clear here on YouTube, because we don't want to drop things that we're not supposed to be saying. You following me? What do we call that space where a little girl would receive a one-eyed snake? A shushun? The Haitian in me has said the shushun. Maybe they don't know what that means in English. The shushun. Okay, for my Haitian people out here. The shushun, the one-eyed snake, is entering the shushun of the little girl. How does this happen? How does a little girl, let's envision here, a small little person of 3 years old. I mean, what are we? 3 foot tall, little legs, little arms, little body. How do you receive a grown and developed one-eyed snake from a man probably over 20 years old, over 30 years old? How does a child receive that kind of penetration? Now, I, as a grown woman with a big shushun, who's able to receive such things, what does that do for a grown person? Not to mention the father who created such a thing, the father who was in participation of making this other human being, this little human being. Now, you, the father who created this thing from your seed, is now using that seed for your pleasure. How disgusting are we? How sick are we? For we to go in and insert your one-eyed snake in a little shushoon that came from your seed. This is the conversation, friends. This is the kind of people we're talking about. Now, these people run things in this country, in Delaware. But let's tie it back to their nation of origin, which is France. Now, y'all know the Haitians we got some issues with France. We have dealt with their kind of evil in Haiti. We have dealt with their kind of evil in Haiti. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole in this conversation. And so we know that the French can be evil. Now, this is a French family that has been here in the United States for a very long time. They are tied to some really, really wicked things. And so, but the main thing I want to talk about, I want to just briefly touch on, is this idea of the French and this person doing these things to his own little person, to his own little girl, violating her in a way that no daddy should even attempt to violate their child. I mean, when you're touching the child in these ways, when you're navigating your hands around these things, it's disgusting. But when you insert your one-eyed snake like that, little child is literally laying there as daddy, as in your blood father, as in the one who created you, as in the one whose seed you are. When they lay there upon you, and then they insert their one-eyed snake into you as a little girl, what does that do to this child? What does that do to you? And for all of you girls who has been molested, who has been violated, myself included, and this is why I'm really passionate about these things, what happens to you? It wasn't done through the hands of my father. It was done through the hands of grown men. But what does that do to you when it is your own father that inserts himself into your little body, into your little shushoon? When it is your father who goes into your private spaces and do these things, we've got to start addressing these things. These things happen. Incest happens. But it is an ugly, 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 ugly thing. And these people are just disgusting and sick. So I'm going to be following this Candace Owens. I have been, but I'm going to continue to do that. And, when these things happen, when I see these conversations needs to be had, I want to come on here and I want to drop the content because, again, it is really, really grossly and disgusting. And this guy did not even really do real time on this. A convicted rapasta, right? Sticking his one-eyed snake in his own child and her little shushoon as she lay there to intake her father. I mean, it is disgusting. It's disgusting. What kind of person, what kind of human being, what kind of man does that to their own seed? Well, we're dealing with the French. And again, we're not saying all of the French folks are like that, but we do know evil lives in these capacities. Evil live in this place. Evil live. Again, look at what they did to the Haitian people. I'm just saying. And there's been so much more. And we're going to continue to talk about these things because it needs to be talked about. Anyway, I have reached my destination. I will check back in at another time. God bless you and keep you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel as we drop truth bombs on what's happening in our society, what's happening in the community. This is Amania Saluste. We're out. God bless you and keep you. And once again, go check out Candace's podcast. I know everybody's on top of it. I just have to throw my 2 cents into what hits me, what's triggering me. And right now, what's triggering me is December 2nd episode, where she's talking about the daddy, the DuPont daddy, who's instilling his one-eyed snake into his little girl. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. God bless you and keep you.